If you've been in any discussions about Facebook ads, you've probably had I don't know, I have one ad that's been working for me, but right now it's tanking, right? So everyone is talking about their new Andromeda Facebook ads change, and there's more. Just to summarize it, there is just more of a focus on creative diversity, more creatives, giving Facebook options to see who it would serve best at a specific time, because people react to things differently at different times. Just like if you're selling a knee pain product, certain people experience knee pain early in the morning when they wake up. Certain people experience knee pain when it's cold. Others experience knee pain when they've been walking for an hour. Others experience knee pain when they're going up the stairs. Others experience knee pain when they're running at a certain XXYZ kilometers. So you wouldn't expect your ads to appeal to everyone with just knee pain messaging geared to those experiencing it in the morning, right? So the thing is about mapping your customers and figuring out how many ways do they experience this problem. Now, in the cold email world, that's where I'm from. If you're selling a problem, I talk about selling a problem because when you are reaching out to someone, same as in ads, someone is in their own world, but you want your messaging to crowbar into their world and change their thoughts from whatever they're thinking at the moment to what you want to sell to them, to the problem you want to solve for them. Now, in fiction, since we don't really have a problem, what we are selling is any sort of typical problem like I need revenue. Okay, content that talks about generating revenue is content that will solve the problem for me, so that this is content that appeals to me. But in fiction now, we're talking about emotions. You think about it like it's emotions packaged in a piece of paper. So different emotions, different vibes. Someone reading a book set in the ocean, someone is on a houseboat, the sun is shining, they have a beer in hand. That's a certain emotion. Someone who's reading a Western romance back in the day, life is simpler, right? There are horses, there is brown grass. That's another emotion. So the goal is to figure out how many angles, how many ways do people experience these emotions when they are on Facebook. Because on Facebook, they're there to do other things, right? So we need to reach them in different ways. Now, an easier way to do this in the cold email world, again, how we approach this is because you're sending emails to maybe 1,000 people, and the Google or Outlook inbox managers, the AI managing the inbox, will destroy your email reputation if you're constantly getting negative feedback from the people you are reaching. The same does not happen in ads, but in cold email you get immediate negative feedback. So most of us solve this problem before we get to sending emails. So that means for ads, we need to solve that problem before we get to creating the ad creative. Okay, so that means we do spreadsheets, we do data before we get there. So reviews. So here I chose FBI mystery. I just googled, went and saw the most the person with lots of organic what's the name of the, I think it was the first results amongst sponsored posts. 24 books, FBI mystery crime, right? So what appeals to these types of readers? Well, we could look at book one's reviews, but in my head I'm thinking probably we have people who are fans and people who are not fans by book one. But by the time they get to book 24 or 23, anyone that's left reviews here to this book is probably a super fan. Okay, so I'm gonna look at the latter books. If you're doing this for your own books, do the same. But if you have very few books, beggars don't choose, so you use what you have. So go to Goodreads. I use Goodreads because it's easier to deal with the reviews than Amazon. So just copy and paste. Copy your reviews on onto a notepad or Google Docs or whatever is good. You do your thing. Copy, Control C. Again, show more reviews. It's already Control C. It's already selected them. That's why I like Goodreads. Again, I've copied, I've pasted. I press Control C. I've already copied and pasted. Again, are we at the end? I think we're at the end of the reviews. No, copy and paste. So I don't need to do that much compared to Amazon, because Amazon is a bit tricky in how it shows this thing. So I've already done this before I came and tried to record this video. So I put all this in a document. Let me show you. Let me change something. Just give me a minute so that you see what I'm talking about. Okay, so I already put all these reviews here. Okay, so this, if you just, for me, I would put this in I have a reader called Balabolka, so it reads this for me. So I just close my eyes and just listen to all the things that the readers are saying, and I'm recognizing the patterns now. The scenes, do they have specific scenes that evoke a type of emotion that would appeal to a similar reader on Facebook, or no? And then I just go ahead and put all the data I get, and it's rough data. It does not need to directly be transferable to an ad. Just you're gaining an understanding on your audience. I put all that data in a spreadsheet. Okay, all that data in a spreadsheet. So an easier way to do this, you go to notebook.lm. So it's almost like a localized AI. You upload a document and it operates solely from that document. So you ask it questions, it looks up the document. So everything is contained there. So I uploaded the reviews in this document here and asked and used this question. So I'm gonna read it to you so that you see why I do it this way. So I believe in fiction. Fiction is just emotions packaged in a book. So I told it I need to find all the emotions represented by the different scenes, different tropes, and then put them in my ad copy to attract people who are looking for that emotion. Okay, so I gave it examples. For example, reading a scene about someone on a boat in the sun living in a house sells a certain emotion. In houseboat, really, because I've felt this reading a book, Travis McGee, I think that's the name, modern sea adventure books. Then I give it another example, a scene in a western romance where people are outdoors, there is grass, there is horses, sells a certain emotion too. A vigilante thriller and all the individual scenes sells a certain emotion too. Okay, and then I told it a prince whose parents were killed, and fantasy people, and was raised by a retired bodyguard in disguise, sells a certain emotion, because you're looking to see this person come into their own and you can't wait. It's a vibe that gets someone from, oh, I'm scrolling Facebook to her, I might just wanna check out this book. And then I told it, look through all these reviews and I want you to find all the scenes, tropes, keywords and that represent the different emotions and vibes, because vibes, I'm not sure if vibes really means emotions or there's a certain another meaning to it, but to me I'm assuming there's another meaning to it that's more than just emotions. That's why we use it rather than emotions. So I put that in there. I want them to put that. I wanted to put that in a spreadsheet, so I told it to structure it for a spreadsheet. And I told it because I knew it would. Most people, when they hear about this technique, they think of adverbs and adjectives. So gritty, exciting. That does nothing to a reader. Gritty, exciting. What on earth is that, right? So I told it I'm not interested in any adjectives like exciting or gritty. Those mean nothing. Okay. And I told it I want to describe, rather I want what the need the book is feeling in the reader, because for any business the solution has to feel a need to a problem. So fiction is feeling a need for these readers, that's why they're spending money. Okay, So this is what it got from this FBI mystery. This is book 24, Super Funds. So a car pulled from a riverbed after a 7-year drought. Now this is interesting because what you're scrolling Facebook and you hear this area. So I've already read this place does not have droughts, but for the first time in history they have a 7-year drought, and all of a sudden a car is pulled from the riverbed and there's a body in there. You see, so for the reader there is almost the cost of inaction is failing to figure out to see what happens next. There's a dilemma here. So it's similar to telling someone, hey, I can help you double your revenue. The cost of inaction is them not getting to figure out how they could double their revenue. All right, so that's one. And it says a detective diving into murky water to retrieve a license plate. This is another form of emotion. It's a character. For people who love character-driven books, if you have a detective who can get their hands dirty. So for some, you think a drunk detective, right? So you could, for some people, this type of scene appeals to them. Okay, here the mystery and the puzzle, intellectual people. So you're finding a tiny corroded skeleton key in the victim's purse. Okay, so this wasn't enough for me, so I asked for more. Did I give it more context or not? I wanted. I told it I want more variety, because when you are reading this on your own, you'll naturally find variety. You won't find the same because you're looking for add angles, really, right? Okay, so here's one. It already repeated the forensic grit, the character of this detective who's willing to get their hands dirty. There's one that was so interesting here for me when I went through this one. A perfect couple smiling and holding hands on camera just before vanishing. So when I clicked on this, when you click on this, it tells you it points to the part where it references it. And apparently these guys were in a dinner. They took a photo smiling and then they went home. I think the wife or someone, they're engaged. I'm not sure if they have kids, but I know there were kids involved. So one of them sends a message home, we are on our way, and they die. They disappear actually on their way home. So there's lots of unanswered questions. So even that description of couple, fiance, out on dinner, they disappear on their way home. That's another emotion. There's a cost of inaction, cost of not figuring out what happened to this couple. And this other one now, this might appeal to you wouldn't think this would be an angle for selling a crime fiction book. A tough detective struggling to parent a teenager who refuses to like her. Now you see how the Notebook LM categorized all these different scenes and emotions. It's the same way I was talking about the knee. Forensic grit, the character, psychological, domestic. So a tough detective who's successful, you contrast it with the struggles they're having with raising a teenage son. I'm not sure if the son is adopted, but that can be a primary text or text you can use on the ad. I've solved XYZ, or I'm the best detective in the city, but I'd rather take a case any day than my XYZ teenage son. You know the type of people the type of strings you're pulling, the types of people you want to appeal to. Is there another one that's different? The workplace vibe. So it's found family. Alright, so that way you already have different angles. Okay, now I want you to pay attention to this. So even though we didn't read this book, we can kind of infer the parts that appeal to readers. So what is this book feeling in for the reader? according to the reviews, they found family void. Okay, so readers are looking for warmth of a found crew. It feels the desire to see a group of people who are not related by blood but choose to protect, love each other, especially when they've all been wrecked in life. So that's an emotion that you could have in an ad. So ad one, that's an ad set could be found family, competence. Protagonist is tough as nails but soft and vulnerable. Contrast, right? When there's contrast, there's tension. When there's tension, there's cost of inaction, cost of not figuring out or finding out what happens because of the tension. So you buy the book. You see here, someone who can dive into a river for a body but doesn't know how to talk to a grieving 14-year-old. Justice for the forgotten. If you want to tap into the rage emotion on Facebook, you can use that. I've seen an author actually do this for vigilante thrillers. The victims have been missing for 7 years. You see? But a drought changes things. So here's how to use this. Okay, so now that we have the different angles and the different scenes and the different emotions, now it's easy to get different angles. So here's my this is what I asked the thing to do. I want the headlines that I'm gonna put into my ad image to pull in the readers. So I'm giving it context so that it gives me what I want, specifically what I want. So I told it, give me something that I'm gonna use it for this, and I want it to cover all these angles we've talked about. I told it I like to use short headlines next to the book image as ads. So here's what it gave me. All this, the angle one. So it learned the categorization we talked about, the knee pain categorization. So the resurfacing past angle, it gives you 7 years underwater wasn't long enough to hide the truth. The drought brought up the car. I'm going to show you how to use this. The drought brought up the car. The autopsy brought up the lies. So ideally, usually you would pick a few, because you think that we, as the authors, we think we're the masters of figuring out what our readers want. But here we're going to test the data and let the readers figure out what actually, let Facebook figure out what the readers actually want to see and how it's going to distribute all this to different types of readers. So angle 2, the shattered facade, the hidden betrayal vibe. Here are the lines. They left the restaurant holding hands. They were found with bullet holes. The perfect family was a box of lies waiting to explode again and again. Domestic struggle angle. She can hunt a killer. She can talk to a grieving teenager. A badge won't make a 14-year-old trust you. Blah, 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 blah. They found family, a detective team held together by trauma and an insult jar. This would need a bit more. It can't stand on its own. But for this video, we're gonna use it anyway. So take all that, put it on a spreadsheet like I've done here, and then come to Canva. I already have a sort of a rough template. So I made a mock-up of the book cover. I wanted a Kindle mock-up, but Canva made a in Africa, in Kenya rather, we have a saying: the day you decide to walk naked, that's when you meet with your mother-in-law or father-in-law. So the day that you want to show something, it decides not to load. Okay, so we're gonna test one, and then we're going to import all this into Canva. We're going to import all this into Canva. Oh, I think I know what happened. I think I know what happened. No, all uppercase. There was something wrong with my internet. That's why that page was not loading. I have fixed it now. Extensions, change case, all uppercase. All right. Now as that works, I like to use uppercase. There's no particular reason for it, but I feel it okay. I used to use this in shorts, video shorts, and everyone was doing large uppercase headlines. Okay, so I'm gonna test that on our template. Continue editing. Come on, man. I want you to go to the back. Send the thing to the back. 7 years and what wasn't enough now. Come on. Alright. Let's widen this a bit. I don't like when it's that high, because when you're doing Facebook ads, the top and the bottom parts are usually cut off. But you see these points here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the points where people's eyes converge. So the important bits need to at least be there. So this, our headline touches 2 parts, so that's fine. Our image touches 1 part. Okay. Let's see if it can be. What did we do? Let's see if we can bold this. Bold. Alright. Let's see if we can change the background color. Let's add a bit of noise. I think I already saw some noise. The wrong button is being selected. Add a bit of noise. Add a bit of noise. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Lower the transparency a bit. Come on. Yes. And then send it to the back. Send it to the back. So everything is above it. Let's see how it would look like. No. So that means this cannot be black. It can be something else, but not black. Let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 white. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So right here in this section, you can have the pricing, you can have the Kindle Unlimited stuff, but everything is concentrated in the middle here. Okay, you can have a review here. So this part is free for all that, but all these are, so everything here remains the same, but now you play around with the topic. Let's center it. Let us center it. Position, center. Alright, we're good to go. So this is what we're gonna do. We are going to import bulk. Import all those topics so that we have, I don't know how many are they, 14 designs. Got Google Sheets. I think this is the document. What is the sheet 1? What is happening here? Sheet 1. Import. Then for each of these that import export. Oh, I need to map. Select an element. So you select the element you want to map to the cell, here. Alright, so the head, the column heading, headline should correspond to whatever section you want to tie it to. So here I'll tie it to the headline. Connect data, select headline. So if there was, each had a different pricing, I'd have a column here for pricing, then I put the different prices, and then I just match them up. So that's been connected. Continue. How many are these? Ooh, 15, 20. Create designs, and you'll see what will happen shortly. It's been created. View design. So all these are angles from the reviews, not things that come from me. And then you could do this if you really want to A/B test. You could put all these, so you could divide them, let's say 3 each or 5 each in an ad set, and then let FB distribute them. Decide how it will distribute the budget to each. Something is missing here. So that's one way. Let's see. 7 years underwater wasn't long enough to hide the truth. The drought brought up the car, the autopsy brought up the files. One skeleton key in her purse, 0 locks in her home. The river gave up their bodies. Now it's time to find their secrets. I would need to adjust this. They left the restaurant holding hands. They were found with bullet holes. The perfect family was a box of lies waiting to explode. This needs a subtitle. Where is it? The perfect family was a box of lies waiting to explode. It needs a subtitle. M dash here, something, because this is almost like to me feels incomplete. Behind every happy couple is a secret they took to the grave. Also, this needs a subtitle. Because the cover already highlights the secret. This does not need to highlight the secret, or if it does highlight the secret, then it needs something else to bridge it to the bigger story and the murder. Someone always knows something. This is also too vague. It needs to be a bit of changing. So, but overall, she can hunt a killer. She can talk to a grieving teenager. This also will need a bit of massaging. A badge won't make a 14-year-old trust you. But you kind of see what I'm trying to show. The different angles for different audiences. Someone is interested in the couples and the secrets. Someone is interested in whatever this emotions this gives. Someone always knows something. It's too vague though for a book. So I would really love like a line about the actual plot. Someone always knows something. This could actually be a subtitle, and then you need something about the plot here at the top. She can hunt a killer. She can't talk to a grieving teenager. This should be a subtitle too. It needs a qualifier before it's introduced. I don't like this. Solving a case. Anyway, so this is one way. And then, just to give it variety, you can, because we're talking about creative variety, right? You can give, what is happening here? Allowing me to choose what I need to choose. So this is what you're gonna do. I want the background. That's what I was looking for. You can change the backgrounds. So, and all this is quick creative diversity. You'll be surprised the different color, they'll perform differently. One color will get more money than the other, even if the messaging is the same. will be surprised. Even if the messaging is the same. So I actually wouldn't do this because there's too many variations here. We're not sure if the color is what's favoring performance or if it's something else. I'm gonna use this blue, and let me show how it's gonna look. So if you're struggling with creative diversity, that's how you get creative diversity. Just like that, 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 just like that. All right. The copy will need a bit of massaging, and then you just put them in 3s or 5s per ad set, give it a budget, and let Facebook decide how much money it will allocate to each ad set. So that's how you get ad angles. So if I'd read this book and known a bit much more, if I read the description, it will be easier to massage these because they're working together. The headline is working together with the cover and the title, so they need to almost be a 1-2 punch. They shouldn't be doing the same thing. That's why I hate the titles that talk about the secret, because the title already talks about the secret. So what's the point? All right, hope that helps. I'll try and share. Just drop me a line if you want me to share anything from these videos, the resources, the tools, the spreadsheet, or whatever. I need a drink of tea. I did say I need a drink, but what kind of drink?